OluKayode.
Today, we celebrate a truly exceptional man, OluKayode B.A. Akanji Fabunmi. Born on June 11, 1975 in Ile-Ife, Kayode is a proud Owu son of Abeokuta and the last child of Professor Fabunmi, a distinguished professor of law at Obafemi Awolowo University, and the late Mrs. Fabunmi, a woman of strength and grace.
The day Kayode was born. That day, I and a colleague in the faculty, Dr. Fashokun, went to Oshogbo, Court of Oshogbo, for a case in the Court of Appeal. After we returned, I was told that my wife had given birth to a baby boy. I was so happy, I was so excited, to the point that one of my neighbors saw me and asked what happened. And I told him that I had already 2 girls, and this boy, and now I have a boy, which means I now have a female and male, which makes the whole thing complete. I was very happy.
A story began in the heart of academia, the staff quarters of the then University of Ife, where he grew up surrounded by books, values, and vision. Raised by loving parents and 2 sisters, Kayode's early years were filled with curiosity, care, and promise.
OluKayode B.A. Akanji Fabunmi, my darling, dearest brother that's ever lived. I am Kayode's immediate elder sister. Kayode is Kayode is a brother that looks out for his family members. He's very selfless. He does things to please everybody. He always wants to make everybody comfortable, to be sure that we're all doing well. Kayode is the go-to person to resolve issues. Kayode as a baby, even mom told us that in developing, he didn't give her any issues. Unlike all the other babies, when they're about to grow their teeth, they come with all sorts of issues. High temperature, sickness. Mom said she just woke up one morning and all Kayode's set was present. Nothing. He did not have any form of sickness. No warning that he was growing teeth. And that's how Kayode is. Everything he does, he does his things easily, without any stress, without giving anybody any troubles. I remember when he was about to take his wife during that year, we just didn't expect how he insisted he wanted to do it before his actual year, which is in Form 4. And okay, reluctantly, that took the form for him. He was like, let me do it, I'll do well. Like, oh, okay, go and do it. Surprisingly, Kayode passed every subject except the subject that he had told daddy not to register him, and daddy insisted that he was going to register. That was the only subject that he didn't come out in flying colors. Every other subject, a year before his own actual year of taking that exam, Kayode passed everything. Also, I remember that year when he took JAMB. When we were going to check the results, daddy was not around, so I had to drive him there. I remember when we got there, he was sweating. I think I had gone to call him from the football field where he was playing with his friends to inform him that the jam results were out. So I drove him to where we went to check the results. When we got there, the man that was checking was even saying, "Ah, look at this one sweating. Eh, I'm sure." Okay, let's just see. What's your name? He told him his name. And then they brought out the big ledger. And when they checked it, how they passed in flying colors. Ah, even me, I was surprised. I was like, ah, ah. And in fact, again, that exam was not the exam that was supposed to be for his year. So God has a way of creeping, things on people when you don't expect it. He just comes out and he comes out gallant, you know. So that's one of the characters that I can say about Coyote. Also, I remember when we were growing up, as a young boy, toddler, he, very inquisitive and very, always wanting to know how things work and what's up, how things gets done. So this particular day, mommy called us in the afternoon. Usually when mommy says we are going to Leventis, we're also excited and everybody's rushing to enter the car to follow mommy to Leventis. Leventis is the supermarket of the time, the kind of shop right that you have today. So this particular evening, mom announced that we were going to Leventis and everybody was rushing. We just realized that Coyote was not even interested. He was just lying somewhere, just playing. And we were wondering, what's this boy doing there? Okay, let's go. And then we see that he would just jolt from the floor. He would play under the chair and then he would jolt. And mommy said, what's he doing? By the time we got there and they lifted the chair, they saw that Coyote was playing with a snake. Mom was so scared. Everybody, mom carried him and, rushed to the hospital because, I mean, who plays with snakes? Coyote was playing with snakes at the age of 4 or 5. So, it's been years of fun with Coyote. Honestly, that boy could play with lion, play with anything, you know. I remember also when he broke his hand, his arm, he was jumping to welcome daddy. That came from, I think he traveled or something, and then he was so excited. Dad has come, dad has come, dad. And as he was jumping on that chair, bam, he fell down and broke his arm. Oh my God. You can imagine. And of course, there's apple of mom's eye. Oh my God, mom just loves him to bits. Coyote cannot do any wrong with mommy. Every other person can, but with Coyote, please. So that's how this our darling 50-year-old today man started going around with a cast for a while. Coyote. In fact, if I were to start counting stories, we will live here today. But all in all, Coyote, my darling brother, I know you know that I love you. In fact, your number one fan. I believe is the most intelligent lawyer, the most brilliant person. There's hardly anything you take to him that Coyote would not resolve.
Kaude is a very nice guy. He's well behaved, and I remember when we were little, they will always use, because our ages were so close. I'm only barely 1.5 years older than him. We used to call the two of us technical twins because he will say that we are always like twins. My friends were his friends and everything. And then another fun fact is that we always fight. The fight in the houses. I remember my late mom would always tell me, Bumi, me too. I have a younger brother. Well, I have a younger brother, and you have to give yourself respect. You have to do this. You don't, because we are always at loggerheads. We are not fighting for sugar. We are fighting for milk. Oh, you've used one it was always like that in the house. But apart from that, in the house, yes, we do fight. But I remember one occasion vividly. I think we were coming home. We were from school. We were going home for after evening lesson, and one of my classmates, wanted to bully me, wanted to fight, and he had already started. And out of nowhere, I just saw my brother. He came. He didn't even want to know what was happening, and he beat the boy to a pulp. From that day, that boy didn't even try anything with me again. So that's Kayode for you.
As a young child, he was affectionately known as Chaos. During his primary school years at the University of Ife Staff School, he was fondly nicknamed Fabu, a name that captured his playful yet purposeful spirit. Later, in secondary school at Federal Government College, Ilorin, he became widely known as KayFabs, a name that has stayed with him for life. Over time, friends would also call him Mr. K, General, and Kaiser, each name telling a different story, but all reflecting the same man, humble, driven, and genuine.
I remember when we were young, let me go back to that, when we used to watch VHF video in your house, when your dad is coming, we just quickly put everything off, cover it, everybody will run, some people hide until your dad enters the room. And it was so much fun growing up with you. Then fast forward to the Kaiser Suze days, when I came to Lagos for my NYSC, the things you taught me, at least you groomed me so well that I settled in so well in Lagos, and here we are today. We're still together in love and harmony.
My first memory of Kayode was probably when I was about maybe three, yeah, when we were in London, William Goodenough House, and him and his family came over to stay. We went to Trafalgar Square and took lots of photos. It's quite remarkable. I still remember that. Kayode's always been, cousin Kayode's always been, he was always known in his mind, always been straightforward and very funny, good with people.
Happy 50th birthday. And I just want to tell a quick story. I remember the first time we met. I was pretty young. I must have been around, I guess, 8 or 9, something like that. And you came to live with us in London. And so you would have been, I don't know, 18, 19, I guess, around that sort of time. And I do remember, because we spoke about this recently, how you used to work in McDonald's back then. And one of the things that I did love was how you kept on bringing back, McDonald's fries and things like that, or cheeseburgers after your shift in Mackie D's, which was always a pleasure, which I've always been grateful for to this day. And I also remember back in the day, we'll play on the Super Nintendo and Mario Kart, and how that's where I honed my skills and gave you a whooping every other day. And so I'm also grateful for that. But anyway, enough of me going on about it.
Oh well, I'd like to wish my big brother, my first cousin, OluKayode B.A, Fabunmi, popularly known as KayFabs. I can't believe that we've come a long way. The big 50. When we were kids, I would imagine this day would come. Imagine where everybody is at. I just always prayed for you, prayed for me that we'll grow together, grow old together. Kayode was number 3 in the family, in the order and the hierarchy of grandchildren, and I was number 4. And so we formed a very close bond through the years. I would say to you that Kayode was the most amazing big brother, probably because he is last born of his parents. So automatically it took me as his younger brother, and with pride at that. The numerous holidays in Road 7 OAU as well as in Road 11, and he just loved to show me off. That's my cousin. And he kind of helped my confidence a lot at the time. There was the big brother that would make sure that whatever clothes he had, and he wasn't wearing any more good ones, he wanted me to have it. He was just generous, always kind. Sometimes I wonder, where does he get all this money from? But he never held back. He was generous to a fault. He still is. Um, and so, such has been our bond that through many of the active events in our lives, we've been there for each other. He's been there for me. I've been there for him as well. And I just pray that this goes on longer and longer through the years. I could tell you lots of stories about this great son of Owu. Is it about his interest in politics, going back to the MKO Abiola days when, MKO is a man. Those of you know him, you know how he was almost like the campaign manager at OAU at the time. Or should I tell you about how he was my manager the first time I started to sing in a church setting? That was at the is it All Souls Youth Church, at the time, and he just took pride. You'd swear that he was the one who was going to be singing, But we've got, and how about our escapades? The first time I ever entered into a dance hall, it was him. He took me there. I don't want to go there. Not today. Today's a day of joy. However, that said, I've got lots of pleasant memories. We've got pleasant memories to talk about.
His formal education began at the University of Ife Staff School, followed by a brief stint at Abeokuta Grammar School, and then Federal Government College, Ilorin, where his leadership and brilliance fully came alive. He completed his secondary education in 1991.
Yes, Kayode and I were primary school mates. And my earliest memories of him, I think I was in primary 3, 4, 5, and sometimes I think it was in primary 4 that Kayode became a bully. Yes, I remember it very well. Kayode used to bully me for whatever reason I didn't know. But I just knew that you used to chase me around. And I was always like, why is this guy chasing me around? I had to tell a friend, confide in a friend, Bosse Adegboyega. I had to confide in her to tell her that this is what is happening. So Bosse decided that the moment the school bell rings, that the two of us will run out of school. So that's what we started doing. The moment the school bell rings, the two of us are the first set of people that will run out of the school. And then we are walking very fast home, just for Kayode and his beloved friend Femi of blessed memory not to catch up with us. Yes, primary school was fun. We had lots of fun.
Just like yesterday, our journey as friends started when we were just a little bit, above the toddler age at OAU Staff School over 40 years ago. And over the years while we were in staff school, I think me and you got much more closer, where I got to know you, or maybe we got to know each other up close and personal in primary 6, and we were in primary 6J at the time. So we became good friends and very cordial one at a time. And you were with us for a couple of months. I remember my vivid memory of you at the time was you were a very good soccer player, and you like to take charge and take control, whenever we're on the soccer field or whenever we're involved with any kind of, project together. You were a good goal scorer at the time, and you were fast, and you understand the game better than any one of us at the time, who just loved to kick the ball for the sake of just kicking the ball, without knowing any other thing to do at the time. You're talking about 10, 11 years old kids at a time. So, hey, you left us, I think, after a couple of months, and you went to another secondary school. Went to another school, which I believe was secondary school at the time. So we lost touch and contact at the time. We went to a different secondary school. You went to OAU. I didn't go to OAU because I was outside the country, and it was like that for long. We didn't have social media like we have now. And I think in 2015, when the OAU WhatsApp group for the 1985 to 1987 set was created, we had each other's number at a time and we again. So
Happy birthday to you, Chief Kayode Fabunmi. My name is Jumoke Oladaponi Jibo, and today I wish you a very big golden celebration. It's a rare gift to have someone as a friend from childhood, all the way from the very beginning, through primary school to going exploring Abeokuta together, coming back to university, and then going to law school together. But one thing remained sure: we didn't only share books and lecture rooms together, we shared life together. Now, a fun fact about KUs, as we used to call him when he was young. So, KUs used to think that I was at least 1 to 3 years older than him. Not because I was mature or I looked more mature in age, but because of the regular parties I had as a child. So, one day KU said, why should Jumoke always be older than me? She's always having parties. Anyway, now we know who is older. You are.
Okay, when he wanted to secondary school, now we decided that we should go to Idoani Federal Government College, Idoani. And then we were pursuing that. I went to Lagos to do some work for an organization. And then I told that one, he said, that one said, Joanne, why can't we consider Federal Government College belong? And I said, okay, that's a good idea. So we organized, and then he was admitted to Federal Government College belong. So he stayed there, and then took school sats and passed. He took them also, passed, and then he was admitted to the law faculty in Ife, where I was a professor. I recall that I met Kayode in my GS2 at the Federal Government College, Ilorin, Kwara State. One remarkable incident that made our paths cross and that brought us very close from that moment was when we were having a conversation with some of our friends in class, and the topic for discussion was whether it was possible to achieve success in Nigeria, to live successfully in Nigeria without having to compromise on integrity and without having to cut corners or bend the rules. And one thing I found interesting was that myself and Kayode were on the same side, vehemently defending the position that it's possible to live in this part of the world without having to cut corners or to compromise on integrity. From that moment, we became very close. We maintained close contacts and close ties.
Okay. Okay, let me think of a story now. I think I remember this story of FGC Larry. I resumed like a week before him, and when resumed, I think I saw him on the corridor, and he thought I was a senior, and I went, "Come here." He ran towards me. So I just said, "Okay, don't worry, you can go." Then I think later I now found out we were mates. It felt really bad, and I was feeling cool with myself. We've been kind of close. Yeah, we're close in GS1. I have so many things to say about Kayode. I remember way back, he was always watching my back, always looking for businesses for me to do, and so many things. Okay, another short story. There was one of my trips. I met his dad. on the same flight. We were on the same flight back to Lagos from Abu Dhabi. So I was really excited, and I went to meet him and prostrated and said, "Okay, I'm Kayode's friend."
Hello, everyone. Emmanuel Adebola here. I'm happy to join many of you to celebrate Kayode Fabunmi as he turns 50 today. I've known Kayode for a while. We went to the same secondary school in Federal Government College, Ilorin. I knew him in my second year. I was in schoolhouse. He was in Peace House, just across each other. And I know that we became friendly. I even remember that on one of those days that I visited him at his house in Peace House, he launched lunches to open a carton of pack of cabin biscuit. We call it Paco. And to my amazement, while we're still talking, he finished the whole pack of cabin. I mean, you could say I helped him a little bit here and there, but the distinct honor of the assignment was his and his alone. And since then, he has moved on, studied law. He's done very well for himself.
Secondary school classmates. Both of us were in Progress House. We finished in 1991 from Federal Government College, Ilorin. And we're not surprised where he is today. I call him the next senior advocate of Nigeria.
I met you back in HSC Ilorin when I did join the school in 1987. We were in the same class. One thing that stood out about you, one uniqueness, something that was very unique about you was the fact that you were always extremely clean. Your white was nice and bright, it was sparkling. And I think that purity has always remained with you throughout the years. People often say lawyers are liars, but with you, you are a man of great proven integrity. Your ethical values have been second to none. And I thank God for who God has made you to be.
My name is Ken Demakonjola from Lagos, Kayode's childhood friend. I have a lot to say about my lovely friend and amazing personality, OluKayode B.A. Kayode means a lot to so many people. To the whole OluKayode family, his name is Papu. To Federal Government College of Ilorin Crew, his name is KayFabs. So the family friends are close friends that grew up in Kayode, either KUs or just K. That's the man we're talking about.
Thank you for all you do for 91 sets. Thank you for all you do for humanity. Thank you for being who you are. You're very, very supportive, objective, and considerate person. You're not judgmental. You're always there for everyone.
Kayode studied law at Obafemi Awolowo University, where he earned his LLB with distinction. More than just a student, he was a community builder. He co-founded Victus Chambers, a student-led law firm that became a platform for training future advocates and grooming leadership.
I asked them, what would you like to be? He said he would like to be an engineer. And I, being a lawyer, I wanted him to follow my profession. And I said, what about law? He said, okay, Daddy, I will do engineering law. So I didn't bother to press him. Now, when I had the sabbatical leave, we were going to spend it at Harvard Law School in the US. So we went to, first of all, we called in London. We stayed there for about 2 weeks. So, and I took him to the law court in London. So when we entered, we saw the lawyers wearing their apparel, making argument, and so on and so forth. At the end of it, I then asked him, I said, which profession would you like to be? He said, then I will be a lawyer. And that's how he made up his mind. And he said, interestingly, he had a friend, Justice Akanji. He has a friend whose father was a justice of High Court. Now, Justice Akanji also wanted his son to read law. but that one said no, he's going to read medicine. So when Kayode, after his decision to read law, he told his friend. His friend then said, I went to his father and said, okay, I too, I want to read law because my friend, whose father was a professor, has decided to read law. So and that's how, just the one day I went to Jos to examine in the faculty of law. So, and I went to and he told me, he said, Professor Fabunmi, you don't know what you have done for me, that my son, who I wanted him to read law, and he said he was going to read medicine. But he came home one day and said, Daddy, now I want to read law because my friend, whose son is a professor, has also decided to read law. And that's how the man was, just that he was so happy and was so grateful to me for what I have done for his family.
You're such an amazing person. Remember all those times from year one, you've always been so personable, so social, so willing to help all the time. Thank you for the invitation to Victor's Chambers. Thank you for the opportunity to do so many things with you in the legal sphere.
I met Kayode Fabunmi in year one at uni. I guess probably because our names are so close, our last names. So, but other than that, Kayode was hard to miss in class. Honestly, he was just this passionate law student. He must have dreamt of, studying law from his mother's womb. I can't imagine Kayode doing any other thing, studying any other thing, being any other thing than being a lawyer.
Kayode's classmate from the university, and of course, he's my very good friend as well.
I am Kayode Fabunmi's friend, right from OAU to law school, and today we are still very good friends. My brother KayFabs, as you celebrate your 50th birthday, my prayer is that your next 50 years will be more glorious than the first 50 years that you have spent, that we have spent together. Let me say it like that. It's been a long journey, but I'm happy that today I'm here to celebrate with you on your 50th birthday. I look back with nostalgia at all that we have been through, how we used to read together in your mother's office in the law faculty, how you would open the door for us, put on the AC, and then we all read there, how we went on from there to law school. We shared the same room. We were on the upper bunk, I was on the lower bunk, and then we used to read, trying to pass and become lawyers. Thank God today, even as I look back, we're already maybe 25 years at the bar, and I'm so happy that you have achieved your dreams. I remember when you used to sell stickers, the God Jesus sticker that you used to sell, how you used to make the lollipops with the fruit juices and all that. I mean, there has been so many things that you have done, Kayode. You are a very industrious person. So many things that you have done, from your Canterbury trainings that you do. I mean, all the trainings that you even do today. I'm so proud of you, Kayode. And I'm happy that we are still friends. I know that we are going to share so many, many glorious years together, even as we will do so many things for our children as well.
I remember those ASU strikes, man. We did stuff. But one is just grateful how God has been with us. And we would laugh about our parents, the times we had to take injections, the times we were naughty. Now we are parents ourselves. And then we used to look at the 50s as, wanted that, but all of a sudden everybody is now 50.
His entrepreneurial instincts were evident early. In childhood, he sold homemade fruit juices during holidays. In primary school, he and friends launched a weekly handwritten journal, recycling news stories from daily papers. He served as deputy editor-in-chief.
I recall your childhood days, Kayode, and the wonderful times we had together. Remember how we used to play table soccer, or what we should rightly call floor soccer, because we used to play it on the floor, with bottle tops. What wonderful times. Actually, that was how we formulated a name for your team, which we called AU Football Club of the World. And that was why I used that to hail you at the onset of this presentation. I'm sure I'm the only person in the world that still calls you by that name. But yeah, what wonderful times we had.
Kayode earned a Master's of Laws from the University of Hull in the United Kingdom. While abroad, he founded the Canterbury Summer Camp at the University of Kent, a powerful program that continues to build leadership, confidence, and global exposure for young Nigerians.
Hello, my name is Shay. I was the first president of Canterbury Summer Camp 2014. Met Mr. K for the first time in 2014, and ever since then we've literally been family, brothers, family, uncle, whatever you want to call it, but we know what the relationship is between us, and that I'm really grateful for. I remember in 2014 when we first met, I was this shy guy, very timid, didn't like to talk to anyone, always frowning, and yeah, he noticed this, so he worked on me, I'd say. And yeah, I emerged the first president, and I really appreciate that, opportunity, because to date, I am grateful for everything he's done.
One experience I had with Mr. K that I can never forget was in Canterbury Summer Camp 2015. In fact, that was the first time I was meeting Mr. K. We were at Heathrow Airport, and the airport has 2 lifts, right? Or 2 doors to the lift, and then when we walked into the lift, the first door opened, but there were all white people inside the lift and we were facing the other door. So when the door opened and we entered, we were all black. So when they turned around, it was very awkward. There was an awkward silence when the door closed and the lift started moving. So Mr. K asked, are we going up or are we going down? In that brief second, everyone busted out into laughter. It really eased up. So when we came out, Mr. K told us, whenever you go to a place or a meeting or anywhere you go to and the room is tense, it's best to break the ice before proceeding with whatever brought you there. So that's really helped me, and I still practice it to this day.
If I remember correctly, for about 12 years now, and I must say that he's been an amazing pillar of support. He's been an amazing, I'll call him a friend, I'll call him an older brother. KayFabs and I was opportune to venture into Canterbury Summer Camp with KayFab back then in 2014, where the idea came about, and I was happy to be very instrumental to the first Canterbury Summer Camp. There's a lot of experiences curating a 2-week program. We did that, and people were very, excited about the entire event. Canterbury Summer Camp has come to stay for the past 11 years, and I'm happy to be one of the pioneers alongside KayFab in getting that done.
And then also he organized a training in Cambridge, in Oxford, and I followed him to these places. And if you see the caliber of the participants, there are high court judges, court of appeal, there are professors from university. I remember the one that we did in, I think in Oxford, Professor Shipita of University of Lagos was there. Then another one, the former EFCC chairman, a woman, also came. And then judges from high court judges and so on, they came to participate. And I was highly impressed.
Also, the summer camp I went to in 2023 that you hosted was very fun. It was one of the most fun things I've done in like the past 5 years. So yes, I want to say thank you for that, and I hope that you continue it because it's a very good experience.
On his return to Nigeria, his vision grew deeper roots. He co-founded the Business Law Academy, which has trained hundreds of companies, institutions, and government agencies. He later established the Business Law Clinic, offering pro bono legal support to small and underserved businesses.
And one thing that impresses me is the fact that when he came back with the master's degree, there were so many offers from banks for him to come and do. But he said no, that he will stay with me in the office. Because by that time I had established a law firm in Lagos. So, and I looked at him, I said, this boy, with all the attractive conditions from some of these banks, you see, decided to come and stay with me in the office and practice. And we all know the initial problem of when you are on your own and try to establish as well. But he decided he was going to stay with me in the office. By that time, I was a professor in Ife. I had to travel from Ife to Lagos, but he said he would stay with me, even though the certainty of the salary and so on and so forth is not, even like a private person. But that notwithstanding, he said he was going to stay. He's not going to join bank or anything. So we continued. And then when I retired, I handed everything to him. So he's now the managing partner of KayFabs, a flourishing law firm in Lagos. Then another event that really impressed me is he organized an international conference on PPP, private-public partnership in Abuja. And participants came from America, from France, from Germany, and some other African countries. But the conference was highly successful. I was so proud of him.
Just coming out of law school, before my results came out, I needed a place to do an internship. And then I walked into the office. Well, a friend of mine told me about it. I did the test, to get it. It's a good test, and I think I had a score with that. So, but then there was a bit of something, because after my final interview with him, the man told me, call me on Monday. But I literally just heard and interpreted that to mean coming on Monday. So I brought my laptop in the next Monday, dressed, formally for the events, like to start work. So when the man saw me, he was like, I said, call me. When I said, I heard come in. And that's actually how the journey with KayFabs started. And it's a journey that started like it wasn't supposed to, but then it's a journey that spanned, well, over 10 years. And I'm very, 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 very grateful for that journey. During the course of the journey, I've also come to know and understand the man. I journeyed, in fact, I think I need to say this that at Fabunmi, while working with Fabunmi, that was where I actually got my law school results, which was okay, by the way. And I actually got a gift for that, my first BlackBerry phone. I got it because I had a good grade coming out of law school, and that was actually something quite impressive for me at the time. Yes, work. He's a strict man. He's someone that doesn't leave anything to chance. He doesn't leave anything. It doesn't leave space for you to, dabble. Mistakes are corrected. Mistakes are handled, and then sometimes it might come out a bit harsh. It might come out a bit very, 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 strongly worded. But I always believe that, the intention was right. And that's the kind of person he is, and that's the kind of man I've come to know over the last 16 years actually. Kayode Fabunmi as a man. Strangely, I mean, the man is 10 years older than me. He's also 10 years ahead of me at the bar. So we always happen to celebrate landmarks, right about the same time. So he's 50 today. I mean, I was 40 some weeks ago. He's a jolly, good fellow. Like I said, I'm quite younger than he is, but I see him as a friend. I see him as a companion. I see him as somebody I could relate with. I see him as someone I could share things with. I mean, look, I will be honest and say that we have had differences. We've had, not very friendly interactions, but the man is just still true to himself and true to being a good person. And I'm forever grateful that I came, in and around, him and the firm, during the customer time. I grew from being just, the copper that's joined, to being an associate, to being a friend of a sort, I would say, and then also eventually to being a brother, because he was very, very instrumental to things happening during my wedding. In fact, Professor Fabunmi's dad also came around and sat in the father of the day kind of arrangement, and that was actually very exciting for me. In fact, my parents probably never got over that, because they never thought a boss could act like that or could relate with one like that. And that's actually how it's been. I've stayed at his house for work, for social engagements many times, and we relate like that, and I'm actually extremely grateful for the kind of interactions we've had. He's taught me a lot of things about life. I've come to learn a lot of things about life. I mean, maybe it's not one of the few things to be proud about, but we've actually shared a hotel room together because we were stuck in Abuja and there was just no way for us to get somewhere else. I mean, we've had midnight flights, we've been stuck on the road, many times. I've just had so many experiences with KayFabs, and I cannot start itemizing each one to be able to say, oh, okay, this or that. But like I said, I am grateful for the experience I've had with him. It's 50.
My name is Maiwa Olusegun, and I was opportune to work closely with Mr. Fabunmi at the start of my legal career up to 2015. Mr. K is a founder of energy and innovative ideas, and I'm so happy that you have stayed true to your dreams. Mr. K was really supportive of my interest in tax, and he gave me several opportunities to have that requisite experience in tax. I recall him entrusting the entire tax compliance obligations of the firm into my care, granting me opportunities to give advice as may be applicable. And even particularly, I recall when I had the need to travel to Abuja to receive an award for an essay competition I participated in, and I was constrained to go by road. He, from his own pocket, paid my air ticket for that trip.
I work with Mr. Kayode Fabunmi as his personal assistant at Fabunmi, and I can say my stay there was a wonderful one. It was more of a father and children relationship at Fabunmi, which I appreciate him of that. Thank you, sir, for all you do. Thank you, sir, for your kind words. Thank you, sir, for your support. I really appreciate you.
My name is Peter Olaju, and I'm here to celebrate Mr. Kayode Fabunmi at 50. Yes, I call him Uncle K because he is more or less an uncle to me. I met Uncle K sometime 2013 or 2014. I think I was in either year 2 or year 3. At that time, I was the faculty president of LSS, as Law Student Society, in my undergraduate days. We did our first ever annual faculty lecture, and he was part of the guests that attended. I think the larger part of the success of that event was possible because he was part of it. And ever since then, we've been good. He's a friend, he's an uncle. In fact, I think sometimes the conversations we have, I I wonder how he knows that I have the capacity to handle those conversations. I wonder how. But I mean, he's my uncle and he's a good man.
Hi, my name is Asil. I had the opportunity of working with Mr. K at Fabunmi Business Law Clinic as well as boss, and I would say Mr. K is a go-getter. I would say he is fun to be with, and he works really smart, and this is one of the things that has helped me in my career thus far.
My name is Mayowa Olusegun, and I was opportune to work closely with Mr. Fabunmi at the start of my legal career up to 2015. Mr. K is a founder of energy and innovative ideas, and I'm so happy that you have stayed true to your dreams. Mr. K was really supportive of my interest in tax, and he gave me several opportunities to have that requisite experience in tax. I recall him entrusting the entire tax compliance obligations of the firm into my care, granting me opportunities to give advice as may be applicable. And even particularly, I recall when I had the need to travel to Abuja to receive an award for an essay competition I participated in, and I was constrained to go by road. He, from his own pocket, paid my air ticket, paid for my air ticket for that trip.
So I'm making this video in honor of my mentor, my teacher, my favorite employer, my friend. Happy birthday, Mr. K. I really appreciate everything you did for me. I appreciate, all of the lessons you taught me, ranging from like actual legal practice to everyday life to just general strategy. I appreciate you taking me under your wing and, taking your time to train me. All the training that you gave me, I applied to my everyday life till today. Thank you for, just taking on that role and continue to be there for me. Thank you, because I know that I can always rely on your support.
My name is Flora Fabian, and I'm the Managing Director of BOA Investment and Trust Company. I met Mr. Fabunmi less than a year ago. He was invited to work on a transaction with us as a mediator, so to speak. And since I started working with him, I must say I've thoroughly enjoyed working with him. We get along very well. I think he's a calming voice, he's a sensible voice. Where there's friction and there's strife, he sort of encourages everybody to see things from the other party's perspective. And, inch by inch, from one meeting to the next, we've started to make progress on what we thought, there would not be any progress. Everybody was ready to throw in the towel. But thanks to KayFabs, things are moving forward in leaps and bounds. And I must say I'm truly thankful to be working with him. I think he's a great guy. I like to call him Mr. Fabs to my Mrs. Fabs because I'm Mrs. Fabs as well. So we have a good laugh about that. And
my name is OluKayode B.A. I am a lawyer and HR practitioner in Abuja, based in Abuja, and I'm proud to be one of the people who have been blessed to have Mr. KayFabs in their lives. Mr. K, or KayFabs as his friends call him. I never could call him KayFabs. So much older than me, I just can't help the Yoruba in me. But he's such an incredible person. He's so inspiring, so visionary. I remember the first time I met him, I was really in awe of this incredible gravitas, this influence that he had and still has.
The young ones call it tease and all that these days, but he personified it, and it was just so inspiring to be around him. And I was just blown away. This was finally my first time putting a face to the name KayFabs that we had all heard growing up on OU staff quarters. I knew of KayFabs, but working with him was a totally different experience. He's very demanding, very exacting, but at the same time, he's also really approachable. He sees things other people don't see. I mean, not just in the work, but also in people. He understands human nature, and he sees people's strengths and weaknesses at a glance, and uses his position to give them opportunities to thrive, to develop those talents and abilities. And he did the same thing for me. Mr. K started my HR career. He saw me, a young lawyer, and he said, what, I think this girl has a talent in this area. And he put me in a position to head trainings, to be at BLA, and also as HR for Fabunmi and Co. And I didn't understand how he saw someone like me, so young, so fresh out of law school, and he thought, I can put her in this important position and she's going to do a good job. And I think that confidence that he had in me also impacted the way that I also devoted myself to the work, and has also influenced the way that I continue to work, the way that I lead teams now. A lot of it comes back to the example that I had in Mr. K when I was starting up.
Professionally, he leads as managing partner of Fabunmi and Co., handling major local and international transactions in public-private partnerships and commercial law. He is the founding chairman of the Nigerian chapter of the International Project Finance Association and a trusted advisor to the federal and state governments on key economic and infrastructure reforms.
Professor Fabunmi Law Graduate Internship Competition, which is worth 2 million a year. And it started 2020 and is still ongoing.
I met Mr. OluKayode Fabunmi way back in 2008 in Brussels, Belgium, and in a professional gathering, the International Project Finance Association's Project International, a conference organized for public-private partnership participants. There were other Nigerians, but Kayode stood out. And thereafter, we came back to Nigeria, and we started our professional relationship, collaboration. We exchanged messages regularly on phone, on email, and then suddenly there was this idea about Nigeria's public-private partnership space, where he suggested that a conference be held, and I immediately accepted. We ended up organizing the Nigeria Public-Private Partnership Conference in 2016. It was a huge success with over 1,000 delegates across Nigeria, both from the private and the public sector. It was one of the best public-private partnership conferences ever held in Nigeria. However, it could not continue because of some hiccups experienced along the line. Our collaboration continued on professional capacity, and then we developed personal friendship, and we met in so many places. Kayode is a great man, and he's somebody that I think that will be useful for Nigeria. I think his potentials are yet to be tapped. One of the best friends I have ever had, from across the Niger.
Kayode was introduced to us sometimes in 2017 or 18, about a time when we were looking for a consultant to prepare a business case and draft concession agreement for a PPP project we were pursuing at that time. We engaged Kayode, and Kayode performed an excellent job, and I mean excellent job, that received accolades from the granting agency
and the regulatory agency. He not only prepared it, but he led the team that negotiated with 3 of the largest law firms in Nigeria and came out brilliantly.
So, in dealing with you as my company lawyer in the last, I'd say now, it's been almost 8 years. You've shown yourself to be very intelligent, having great vision, always a step ahead, a great confidant, a great strategist, and as a human, a kind, compassionate, patient person. I really appreciate that about you, and this is a unique opportunity for me to say thank you, and also to wish you very well in your future endeavors.
He is also the publisher of the Nigerian Business Regulatory Review, which provides insight and accountability in Nigeria's business landscape. As chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association's Continuing Legal Education Committee, he is shaping the future, mentoring, inspiring, and elevating the Nigerian legal profession.
My name is Tolu Aderemi. I'm a partner with the firm of Birchstone and Grace. I am also privileged to be the chairman of the 2025 NBA Lagos Law Conference. And I think that is where I'm going to be starting from. I'm privileged to have Kayode as the chairman of the program subcommittee of the organizing committee. And I must say, without any equivocation, that Kayode stands out as one of the most reliable of all the chairmen of the subcommittees. I've worked very closely with him. With Kayode, you can go to bed whilst Kayode does the job. Kayode is resilient. Kayode is hardworking. Kayode is reliable. When you say a quintessential lawyer, you're simply referring to Kayode. Kayode, I'm privileged to have a relationship with you. I'm privileged to have worked closely with you. And I thank God for bearing you to us at the bar as a gift. We're grateful for your sacrifices. We're grateful for all the gifts and your commitment.
I really got to know him when I was chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association Lagos Branch Law Week. And as the chair, I needed to have consensus people in various subcommittees. I was a member of the subcommittee on content and planning, but he took over that task, did it extremely well, worked behind the scenes to ensure that there were no hitches. He ensured that all the speakers, all the topics, everything was done. He is extremely hardworking. Someone I would say that has my back. Professionally, I've never seen anyone that's tried to assist and had an impact on me since I've known him. Comes up with various brilliant ideas. He's always trying to be innovative. So I'm not surprised that he's the one running the NBA CLE, Continuous Learning Education. He really is an academic genius.
I've been privileged to work with Kayode at very close quarters, him being the chairman of the programs subcommittee. And I can attest to the fact that Kayode's style and type of work is not only infectious, but is uncommon. Kayode is resilient with anything that he does. Kayode is committed. Kayode is impactful. Of all the chairmen that I've worked with, I think I've found Kayode to be most reliable. Kayode, I want to thank you very much, for the support that you have given me, the moral advice, the guidance. I'm indeed very grateful to you.
You're a wonderful gentleman, you're a teacher, you're a slave to the branch. You're somebody who thirsts for knowledge, you're somebody who likes and who loves to impact knowledge in others.
Yeah, my name is Nnamdi Oragu. I am KayFabs Fabumi's co-chair on the MBA Lagos Branch CLE committee. KayFabs celebrates I joined in celebrating our dear chairman on this great occasion. I met Kayode when we were both appointed into the CLE committee, and he called me and told me, oh, we need to meet. And then he says, oh, I really want you to work with me on this. And very inspirational, very friendly, and very easily approachable, someone who you can easily work with at every point in time, always provides inspiration. I mean, I thought being appointed and he was chairman was simply, oh, that's good. So he's in charge, and I just turn up once in a while. But he said, no, we need to work on this intensively together. So, I mean, since then, Kayode has been a driving force for the Lagos MBA CLE committee. His strategic planning, I mean, unimpeachable. I mean, everything, he's very organized. Everything is planned. I mean, his organizational skills and leadership are quite inspiring to me as well as an individual. And I mean, he has seen us to almost a completed successful tenure as members of the MBA CLE committee. So I thank you, Kayode, for your good work. I thank you.
But at the heart of it all, Kayode is a family man, a loving husband and devoted father of two. His family is his joy and foundation. They are his reason, his strength, and his greatest source of pride.
Hello, my name is Titilola, and I'm OluKayode's wife. I love Kayode so much, and I'm so happy to be in his life today. OluKayode Okomi, like I always call him. OluKayode is a beautiful soul, very amazing, free-spirited. He loves God. I love him because he loves God. He has the fear of God in him. He's a fantastic lover, a fantastic father, a fantastic man, a very prudent man. He works hard. He's a very, 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 very hard worker. Kayode can read. My God. I thought I like reading, but I met Kayode and I figured that, oh my God, this man likes to read, yeah. Kayode is a philanthropist. Kayode does not thrive in chaos at all. I remember when I met him, like yesterday, I was going through a particular phase in my life where I lost my best friend, and Kayode became my doctor, my personal therapist, my best friend. He held my hand like, oh, bring your hand, I'm here. Kayode became that. He became that for me. He would tell me, make sure you eat. Are you okay? Okay, I'm traveling. I know I'll be airbound about then. I want to know if you're okay. I want to know if you're going to be fine. It's just that guy you need. It's just that guy that when you look back, you know that, yes, I have somebody behind me, Kayode is just amazing like that. Bless his mom and his dad for raising such a beautiful young man, and I bless God for making me meet him. I remember one time like that when we had to go for like a day or two. Would I call it a staycation? With one of his friends. So Kayode was like, I'm just gonna use one day and then we'll just come home. And then he changed. He was like, Titi, for like 3 days, 4 days. Yes, Kayode is like that. Is not narrow-minded. Is open to anything as long as it's good. And I like that about him. He listens a lot. He likes to listen to you, and he likes to know how you feel. Kayode is full of empathy. He will empathize with you, It's not just, oh, because I'm just your lover. He wants to be there for you every step of the way. I think he takes family very serious. He's a very family-oriented person, and that's one thing I like about him. And we have many memories together. It's just so hard to pick out one, but I just want you guys to know how amazing he is, and I'm so lucky to be called his wife.
Even though we fight a lot, we quarrel in the house, outside, we
he always have my back and everything. And he is the life of the party. He's very sociable. He has so many friends, so many people. If I told you KayFabs, that's when we were growing up in the quarters boy, he has so many. But me, I'm the reserved. In fact, I'm the reserved one, always at home and everything. And when it's by maybe any of us, when we are doing birthdays and everything, he will be the organizer to organize everything. And I mean, it was just fun growing up with him. What else can I say? He's generous. He's always eager to help people, to help others, and I guess that's it.
For me, one major encounter that I can say that I had with Kayode was way back then in university. Like I said, I met Kemi in 1989. That was like 36 years ago. And, they lived in staff quarters. I lived in school. And it was an occasion of Kemi's birthday. I had actually just met Kemi then. It wasn't so long, probably like a year plus or something. Not so much time had gone by. And I needed to send her a birthday present, a cake. Now, because the relationship was still, in the early age stages, I had to be careful so that I don't put her in trouble.
Kay, you've always been a very fantastic, easygoing guy, and I celebrate you today, and I pray that your joy will continually be full.
My name is Bola Adegbero. I am Kayode's cousin. My ever smiling, generous, loving Kayode, ever present cousin. He's been there for me through the years. Although he's a younger cousin to me, but he's very, very brilliant. Kayode is he's a genius as a lawyer. I remember back in the days when I was still practicing, I would go to his chambers and he would give me reference books. Thank you very much. And by extension, he did the same for my daughter. He invited her to his business, the law business thing that he does at the Canterbury in England. Thank you so much for your generosity and for being kind and being there all the time.
One thing that stood out about you, one uniqueness, something that was very unique about you was the fact that you were always extremely clean. Your white was nice and bright, it was sparkling. And I think that purity has always remained with you throughout the years. People often say lawyers are liars, but with you, you are a man of great proven integrity. Your ethical values have been second to none. And I thank God for who God has made you to be. For the last 50 years, you've sown seeds, you've shown a great deal of kindness, you've stood by your friends, in their most trying time. You've certainly supported me a great deal. And I just want to say everything you've done, not for money, not because you are going to be rewarded or you are going to receive something back. God Almighty, the great rewarder, will reward you immensely beyond what eyes have seen, what has been conceived by the hearts of men, and what men have ever imagined.
I just want to thank God for you. You're such a blessing to me, my family. God bless you. I want to thank you for all the generosity you've shown me and my family, and also towards my mom. I loved your relationship together. So God bless you in all your endeavors.
My name is Mrs. Olaripo Abidemi Auchola. OluKayode is my cousin, is my big brother. I appreciate your loving heart. I appreciate you for everything. OluKayode is a big brother with a big heart, a loving person, cheerful. There is no way you will not be around him that he will not laugh. He will make sure he make you laugh. He's fun to be with. I appreciate you.
KayFabs at 50. I call him Kaysa. He's my big brother. He's someone I can run to when I'm in trouble. My mom didn't have him. I didn't have
My mom didn't have, I don't have an older brother, but he is my older brother. He's my big brother. And I want to wish him the best. He's impacted so much in my life. I remember back then, this is over 15 years now, like he's someone who, like always want me to be better. And whoever wants you to be better, loves and cares for you. That's the kind of person KayFabs is. He's someone, when I'm in trouble, who can I think of? He's the one.
This is Mrs. Olushola, auntie to Kayode Fabunmi. Kayode, happy 50th birthday. We give God glory for you. We bless the Lord that He has seen you from the time you were born up to now. All those days you were very small, but you can really talk and make your point. We didn't know that, yes, this is a lawyer in the making.
My name is Bolaji Omotosho. I'm Kayode's brother-in-law. I'm married to Kemi, Kayode's eldest sister. I've known Kayode now for about 36 years. In my days in the University of Ife, 1989. That's when I met Kemi, Kayode's sister, and of course through that I came to know Kayode. Kemi and myself were in year 2 then, and I think Kayode was schooling in Ilorin. So, I used to see him now and then. But it didn't take me a long time to realize that Kayode and Kemi were also very close, siblings, in the home. And, over the years, we've had a good relationship. If I was going to say anything about Kayode, I'll say Kayode is, from what I have seen over the years, Kayode is a strong, dedicated family man, dedicated to his immediate family, his extended family, and it has shown over the years he's like a connector, between them all. Personally, I see Kayode as a very hardworking person, very hardworking. He has a strong personal conviction to succeed, and no matter how tedious, no matter how tough, no matter how hard, Kayode will put his all into it, and it's there for all of us to see. Kayode is never scared to try something new. I mean, if he's convinced that it's something that he feels will work, that's all that Kayode needs, and he's going to throw himself into it. And that is why over the years you can see the good progress that he has made, in his professional life.
Good evening. My name is Yetunde Fayanju, nee Fabunmi, and I'm one of Kayode's first cousins. What is Kayode like growing up? Kayode, I would say briefly, is back then I used to see him as like a big man in a small man's body. He was friendly, very accommodating. At that small age, at a very young age, I would say he was full of wisdom, actually. Yeah, that's what I would say about Kayode growing up. Family memories that still makes me laugh about Kayode. It's like anytime the family come to Lagos, and we're all together as cousins watching TV, the black and white TV back in those days, and maybe we're watching a film and there's adverts in between. Because back in Ife, it's like they're used to watching DVDs, or I can't remember what it's called again, or those cassette players. And Kayode will go, fast forward it, because he wants us to skip the advert bit. And we all just start laughing. I'll say, Kayode, this is TV, not a DVD. We still laugh about it anytime we remember, even up till now.
Um, one of the things that you always say whenever we talk is, detach your emotions, because then you'll be able to see the whole picture more objectively. Detach your emotions and then you'll see. And it's I'm beginning to use that a lot because it helped me to see the bird's eye view of a situation, and I think that's an incredible skill to have. I also thank you, Cousin Kayode, because anytime I need a very honest opinion about something, I know who to call. Cousin Kayode will give it. The truth will be said to you objectively and in a way that you need to hear it. So I thank you for that honesty. Also thank you for how you're able to, because Kayode is always there, day or night.
I remember when I clocked 50, Kayode sent a big birthday cake to me. I was surprised and I was very, very happy. I didn't have intention of celebrating my 50th birthday, but because of that cake, I celebrated it. So I still remember very clearly. And with this, I appreciate you very much.
Having worked with Kayode over the years, I can testify to his professionalism, his character and integrity. Today, Kayode is your 50th. I wish you a happy birthday, filled with joy, happiness, and most of all, good health.
Kayode, for me, is a very social person, very helpful, very thoughtful. And one thing I like about him is that he's very hardworking, and you can see his impact around the profession, and around his colleagues as well. And Kayode has impacted me through his selflessness. I recall particularly a training I was to do for some staff of a company on project management. I needed some materials for that project, and Kayode was the go-to person for that because he's actually very good in project management. So he helped me out, and I was able to deliver the training successfully.
You are such a very kind person, which can turn any boring moment into a very exciting one. This reflects on the event we had very recently, and I could see more of you. I've seen you grown from a little boy up until this 50 that you are turning today. I wish you many more years, many more celebrations, and prosperity, happiness, peace from within. The most memorable moment I will always remember whenever I set my eyes on you was when you came to visit us when I had my son. I think he was 1 year old then, and you dined with us. I think you had a drumstick, and my son set his eyes on you. Maybe you didn't realize his laughter ceased because he just looked at, oh, who is this man eating my drumstick? Oh my God, mommy didn't give me any food. Oh, he's giving my drumstick to this young man. And probably you didn't realize all the laughter and amusement in his face. Everything just ceased from that moment because he thought you have taken his place by eating his drumstick. And his siblings will not stop ever since then. If we are having any gathering, maybe Christmas or birthday, they will tease him and say, well, I'm taking your drumstick. Even if it's a turkey drumstick, they even call him turkey up till now. turkey drumstick, chicken drumstick. And so when I tell him that's the only way I describe you, I say, oh, Auntie Kemi's brother, the one that came to eat your drumstick. So whenever he sees you, don't worry, because he probably will be shy to look at you, because I mean, I've always told him that story. So that's just Kayode for you. He's very jovial, kind, and this reflects on the last event we had in London recently. You can see that kindness in him. Very cheerful, willing to help. He's a good listener, you know. And I wish you all.
You are a very nice person, a very wonderful person, and I thank God for your life. Life at 50 will be easy for you in the mighty name of Jesus.
Well, something to admire about him. Well, KayFabs is always positive-minded. You know, he believes that, you know, once you do the right thing and you know, act rightly, nature has a way of rewarding you. He's a down-to-earth, nice person. He's what we call a to-go guy. You know, he's always there for people. He's dependable. You call him, as long as he picks his phone, he's always ready to support, always ready to help. You know, and he's always positive. Never give up. Never give up. Well, I wouldn't say there was any particular special moment, you know, or memory that captured our friendship, but it's a combination of everything, a bit of everything. You know, we just translated into good friends. You know, we shared moments together. Well, I would say more of there was a connection, a spirit. You know, there was an internal connection. He was a down-to-earth, friendly, nice person, and that was just it. You know.
What have I admired most about Kayode? The things I've admired most about Kayode is seeing the man is grown up to be, you know, someone that cares for people, someone that looks out for people. I would say, in summary, a man with a large heart. You know, very compassionate man. And, you know, alongside his profession, you know, the great person is grown to be, you know, as a lawyer as well. I really admire that about him, and the way, the nature, that special nature that is God, that, you know, pulls people together. I really admire that about him. And I pray God will continue to keep and watch over you, Kayode.
You call cousin Kayode, you say, I need advice, I need help, this is what is happening, and he's able to give you, you know, a very accurate prediction of what that situation will end up as, and, you know, very good guidance as well. So I just want to say thank you. We appreciate you.
So watching you succeed in life is very incredible. Not only did you personally succeed, but you succeeded professionally. And being a loyal friend is a very good virtue you had with almost everybody you knew from childhood. Here is to the next 50 years.
Mr. K has been helpful. He has been a friend, a mentor. You know when they say you have an older friend, that is what Mr. K has been to me. He has helped me in many ways. For example, I won't forget when I had issues in pre-law school and my name wasn't coming out. Mr. K introduced me to Grandpa, and in just the nick of time, everything was settled. Grandpa called, he followed up. Not just Mr. K, but the Fabunmi family. I lived in their house at no cost all through my NYC in Ogun State. They fed me, housed me, took care of me. I'm eternally grateful for Mr. K, because without him it wouldn't have been possible. Even my very first gig in life, when I was running a page called Niger Law School, Law Students Connect, Mr. K was the first person to want to patronize me on that page, to run a publicity for his business. And ever since I met him, he has been truly there for me. I wish you all the best, Mr. K. I pray God blesses you, and I pray God continues to uplift you in many ways. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for your newfound happiness, and I wish you the best forever and ever. Amen.
Fabunmi, he's a great man. So far I've worked with him and I've realized that he's a go-getter, a go-setter. He's somebody that has his eye focused on something and he does everything to achieve it. His 50 years so far would show virtually everything from his childhood to this position, and you know that yes, he has done a great deal so far, and that's the bit I can say about him.